is 7 o'clock right on the stinking button. And welcome to the Tuesday morning party. You can call it that anytime Ralph is dropping by, which he will be doing here later on this hour with mangled classic rock lyrics and some fresh hot Ralphicino, etc. Also coming up, some guests in studio, a couple of cool events coming our way. Most recently, this past weekend, a very cool event for Central New York music fans. I guess you can call them legendary at this point.
Yeah.
Post Malone.
Yeah.
Central New York's own Austin Richard Post, a.k.a. Post Malone.
Yeah.
And I'd put in a request a long time ago to see if he'd be able to join us on the Celebrity Hotline, and then it was going to happen, and it might not. And it turns out he had a few minutes last night before he took the stage in Maine. So he called up, and it started with his assistant getting him on the phone. So I'll just play the entire conversation with Post Malone. Hi, TK99.
Hey, is this Gomez?
It sure is.
Hey, Gomez, I got Austin for you. Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our first guest tonight is a multi-platinum selling musician, songwriter. Please welcome Post Malone. We're hanging out with Post Malone.
And the AMA goes to Hollywood's Bleeding.
Post Malone.
My next guest debut album, Stoney, has been streamed over 1 billion times and sold more than 1 million copies worldwide. Here to perform his hit, Congratulations. Give it up for Post Malone.
In celebration of our country, performing America the Beautiful, please welcome 9 times Diamond certified global superstar, Post Malone.
Hello?
Is this Post Malone?
Only on the weekends.
Hey, Post, how are you?
What's up, dude? I'm good, man. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, and fresh off your concert at the Amp. What was that like? Can I call you Austin? I mean, you're talking to your hometown right now, and which is really cool for us. But what would you prefer?
Yeah, absolutely. No, Austin is best. Yes, sir.
Well, Austin, what was it like there Saturday night at a sold-out Amp in Syracuse, playing in front of your hometown crowd?
Man, it was amazing. It was amazing. And my whole family came, so we all hung out, backstage, and they all got to see the show. So it was just a great vibe, and I had the time of my life. So.
Well, what is that just like in general? Because you're basically, a kid from Baldwinsville, and then here you are 20 years later, literally on the top of the music world.
Sir, well, on the top is a very generous statement, man. I appreciate you very much. But I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one day at a time, and I knew that one day I wanted to do music in, any aspect, either professionally or quasi-professionally, and it's really just a dream come true, man. So I'm just, busting my ass and working hard. But
you sure are. And for people who maybe don't know some of your early stuff in your early years, you've been working at this. You've been a big star at it for a long time now, but you went a long time working and grinding to get to where you are.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we started... It all kind of started when I was like 11, 12, and my mom got me a guitar, and I started making beats, and I was like, you know what, maybe it was so terrible. Let me tell you how terrible it was. But, it was so terrible, but
he's making his own beats.
I don't know, man, for anyone out there who's, wants to accomplish something, just keep going. Don't give up on it, because there's really, truly something for everyone, and I'm one of the luckiest and most blessed dudes in the world to be able to do what I do. So just keep rocking and rolling, I guess, for anyone listening,
Now, when you were a kid in Central New York before you moved to Texas, I'd read that your dad was a DJ. Was he like on the radio? Was he doing parties and clubs and things like that?
I think he was doing mostly weddings. But, there's a good market for that. There's a lot of people in love, so that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, he used to DJ, and he would go around. He DJ'd in New York and in Chicago and everything, and then he started working at Atlas in New York, and then I think that's what it was called. It was like either a fabric company or laundry company, and then whenever I was a kid, he got a job with the Cowboys, and we moved down to Texas. So
well, fast forward a little bit, and let me just read a couple of these numbers for you, Austin, and you're well aware of them, but 3 American Music Awards, 2 Billboard Live Music Awards, 10 Billboard Music Awards, 6 MTV Video Music Awards, 4 nominations now for country music. When you hear those kind of numbers, and that's your career, how does it make you feel at this point in your life?
I feel very honored. I feel very, I'm excited. It makes me want to work harder. I just want to get up every day and do the best that I can. And I'm so lucky that people are listening to the records and the music and everything. And it just gets me excited to make more music, I guess.
Do you remember the first time you heard one of your songs on the radio?
Yes, sir, I do. I don't remember exactly where I was, but I was riding with my parents, and then they turned it up, and I was like, oh, I'm trying my best not to cuss, but yeah, and I was like, oh, well, that's pretty amazing, but...
Well, the new album, F1 Trillion, and I went on your website, Austin, and it's online, the vinyl's all sold out already, but the guys, the people that you had a chance to collaborate with, it's a who's who in country music, and for maybe people who don't know, this is a classic rock station here, but we talk about you all the time. But Tim McGraw, Hank Jr., Morgan Wallen, and Blake Shelton, and you've got some hits with those guys already, and Dolly Parton. What was it like working with?
Sir.
She's an icon. She's Americana at this point.
She is just an absolute legend and just the sweetest lady in the world. And I got to meet her a little while back, and she was just so kind. Like, she's exactly what you hope Dolly Parton would be, like, to a T. She is just absolutely stunning and so kind. So I was terrified. I was shaking the whole time we met, but it was really awesome.
Now, I remember watching, and the moment went viral, the video of it, but it was the American Music Awards, I think in 2019, with Shania Twain on stage, and the camera cut to you, and you were having a time of your life, just partying and dancing. Was that about when you were thinking about trying country music? Was it that night, or had you been kind of looking at that before that?
No, I think, I've wanted to make a record like this forever. Like my grandma and my mom, like listening to country my whole life, really listening to everything. And then I got into Hank Sr. when I was a little bit older, like 13, 14, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was like, it always for me seemed so difficult to do. I was like, oh, do you have to like find your own band? Like, who plays the fiddle? Who plays the keys, the steel, all that stuff? And I was like, it seemed impossible. And then I remember like an interview a little while back, I was like, hey, whenever I'm 30, I'm going to make a country record. And then, turns out we're 29, we're a year early, but someone showed that to me and I was like, wow, that's crazy that I said that. And I guess it's just like, in the grand scheme of things, it was like, right on time. And, we just went to Nashville and found a bunch of great musicians to come and play on the record and great writers and just great people. And it just felt right. So I'm having the time of my life, man. What's
the weirdest thing, Austin, now that obviously you're famous? I get the sense you don't like, that term or being famous or being a celebrity. It just kind of comes with what you do for a living. But
sure.
Now that you are at that level, what's the most outrageously incorrect thing that you've heard about you or seen like online or somewhere that was like you heard it and you went, where did they come up with that?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. They said that I was like a AAA volleyball player, and I was like, where the hell did this come from? And it's like, I've never touched a volleyball. Well, I have obviously, but. I was like, where did they get this from, man? But, I might have to pick one up and see if we can't have a run at volleyball,
I saw one online because I was just noodling around. At one point, apparently there was a rumor, and mathematically it's impossible, but the rumor was that you were Justin Bieber's father.
Well, we're just going to leave that where it is. We never know, man. No, Justin is an absolutely amazing dude, and I would be honored to have him as a son. But he's a little older than me. He's my dad, I think.
Well, speaking of being a dad, you're a dad now. How's family life? How's your daughter? I know that was a big moment for you. And was that part of the change in the last couple of years for you, for your health and taking care of yourself and losing weight? You look good.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, she's 2.5 right now, and she is such a tiny badass. She's such a stud, and it is so cool. it's now like she's like getting her like personality, and she is bossy as hell. But she is like so gentle, with other kids and animals and such. And she's just a sweetheart. And I'm the luckiest man to have a baby like her. I'm ready for another one though, so we'll see.
Are you ready? Oh, good for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, what was it like playing at the Super Bowl this year? I just remembered that you did America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl. It was beautiful. What was that feeling like?
Absolutely terrifying. I don't know if you could see it on camera, but my leg would not stop shaking to save my life. It was my right leg, and I was holding my guitar, and I was like, oh, my Lord. I look up, and I'm like, oh, this is the scariest thing I've ever done. But it was so awesome to be able to play that song on that field that day. It was really just something I've wanted to do for a long time, and really terrifying but really special.
Well, you've worked hard to get where you are, and looking back, Austin/Post, when you first things started to pop and happen for you, what did you do with that first really good paycheck? Did you treat yourself?
Yes, sir. I bought a used Rolex, and I bought a Mercedes S-Class, and I was like, you know what? We did it.
Good for you. I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Thank you, sir.
And how often do you get back to Central New York? Just out of curiosity. Do you still have friends around here?
Yes, sir. I do. Absolutely. I got a lot of buddies, and a lot of my family, lives up in Sandy Pond and in the neighboring areas and Rochester and everything. And whenever I come up, I make it a goal to try and see everybody. It's just a big family, so, we never get to see everybody, but, for the most part, everyone. And I went and had some dinosaur barbecue, had some Tully's, and I really want to make a trip out to Canales and go eat, because that's like my favorite Italian restaurant in the world. I would dare to say it's better than Olive Garden.
That's saying something big. I remember that episode of Jimmy Fallon where you took him out there.
Yes, sir. Yep. That was Jimmy's amazing too, man. But I want to come over more. I was thinking about getting a spot out here just to spend some time, man. The air just smells so good, and it's just a beautiful place to be. So
it sure is, and it was cool having you back in town. Congratulations on the tour, the album, your career, and your life. It seems like you kind of got some things headed down the right path for yourself. I know it was a rough patch there a couple years ago, but it looks like you righted the ship, and I'm very happy for you.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you for having me on today. And I'm so happy I got the chance to talk to you, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Post. Austin, that was fantastic. I appreciate it. I know you get a lot of demands on your time, and thank you for taking a few minutes with me tonight. I really appreciate that.
No, not at all, man. I really appreciate it. And my mom, I'm really thankful she set this up, and I'm happy to talk to you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Maybe hopefully I can meet you someday. Actually,
I can't wait, brother.
Years ago, I was actually supposed to hang with you, believe it or not. It was like up at the White Lake Inn in the Adirondacks. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. This was a while ago, huh?
Yeah. It was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It was Brian who owned the place, and unfortunately he passed away about a year or so ago. You were going to be in town, and he said, "Oh yeah, Post Malone's going to be up here." And I was up there that weekend.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Well, hopefully next time I come around, let's kick it, let's have a beer and hang out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Austin. Best wishes. Stay well.
Hey, thank you, brother. You as well, man. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
There you go. The amazing Post Malone. Just seems like a good dude.
Yeah, he's very sweet.